Oh, fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell. I haven't recorded in so long, right? I hit the record button. I thought I was recording. Then I hit the stop recording button. And then it's 3, 2, 1, that started recording. So there's literally 14 minutes of update video audio. I just recorded that the thing wasn't actually recording. So great. So I've got my thoughts more laid out now. I know what I don't want to say now, so I can at least say it more clearly and less messed up. But look, the last time I made a truly new episode of Pen was 2 months ago. I mean, I've made new Pen content in the form of part 1 redone, barely under a month ago. It was pretty fancy, pretty nice, had not shitty sounding audio. I'm very happy for this project. It vastly outpaces the 2021 version of Pen Part 1. I'm even considering, eating that from the official playlist and substituting this. But, yeah, or maybe I'll have 2 different playlists. Maybe I'll change the purpose of the second playlist, since I figured out recently how to rename playlists and also change their status in terms of publicity. Yes, you can do that, as it turns out. But playlists aren't what they are, and then they're doomed to be that for eternity. I bet a lot of people think it is, but the way to change it is actually hell obscure. But right, so yeah, it's I've had the audio and the audio is the most painful part of making a new Pen video. For the next Pen video done for over 2 weeks now, and I've just been I don't feel like making the visual assets for it, and so I've not been able to actually finish the damn video, and it's look, the thing with my brain is, I can't just do labor/work whenever. It's normally it's at the start of every hour, it's a dice is rolled, and that determines how productive my brain is allowed to be within the bullshit laws of the universe. And it's that's just yeah, and that fucks with my productivity. But in this case, my brain's been mentally blocked from doing it, and of course it's not like it magically happens at the turn of the hour. It's a much more rough thing than that, and it's also not a single monolithic thing. Sometimes I can do one task, but I can't do another task, which makes me appear lazy and weird, yet competent in weird ways to people a lot of the time. But this is a weird case, because it might be even some sort of depression or some shit. Not to downplay depression. I mean, getting overly private here, I've suspected I've had that before. I suspect it less now. But, I had a couple symptoms of it, last year before I started the channel. So, maybe? I don't know, but I've not really had the motivation to just draw out those assets for this new video for, literally 2 weeks, in spite of the fact I've already finished the audio. Drinking water, keeping saliva out my mouth, keeping my mouth feel good. It's important. Trust me, as someone who's tried to voice train, it's very important. But anyway, yes, I'm keeping that in. Fuck you. I do feel kind of this is not the best work I've made in terms of Pen. It's a new this episode is leans towards the end of the spectrum it's the worst kind of speculative biology, where it's it does nothing interesting. It just clings to what Earth is entirely, and it's basically just filling up a niche, but it has to be filled up apparently, and not doing anything interesting with it. Which it isn't. It's kind of how I felt about the Parasites episode. I mean, it's not nearly as extreme as that, but it's a similar principle, you know? I do some interesting stuff in this, but not as much as that. Not, I mean, more than that, but not as much as normal. So it's and also I don't feel like drawing these concepts I have out there that simplistic. One of them's a pain in the ass to draw. I actually kind of hate old-legged Terramera vermes because of how I decided their legs look, and thus basically makes drawing them a pain in the ass. That was a mistake. But, yeah. I mean, maybe school's starting up again. It's the thing about it is, like, schools like labor, the state mandates that I do it. It's like I don't see anything for doing it on a day to day basis. I mean, I get information that's like kind of cool, I guess. Like, after years of it, I could get a degree, but like on a day to day basis, like, it's just performing labor, and then eventually I get to go home, and then in the summer holidays and the weekend, I just get to mind my own business, at least relative to school anyway. And it's like, it feels very alienating. Like, yeah, I think like having the population educated, all being able to read and do math and shit, having a basic understanding of how the world existed, that's pretty necessary for a democracy to function. But on a day to day level, it's also like, this is alienating as all fuck, you know? So it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't feel satisfied that I did it, and it's like, kind of pointless. But then I have like pen, and like, fine, only 5 people see it, and because I don't upload consistently at all, some of those people are gonna take like 2 months to see it. But like, I gave some people like a couple minutes of entertainment. I achieved something. I took my I creatively expressed. I took some pieces of paper. I drew on them. I turned those into a simple animation. I've reused that for I took those and made them into cells, put them into a video format, put audio over that, then made through more visual assets, photoed them, put them into the video. And it's like, I literally crafted these videos from literally nothing. Like, all I had was some pencils, some papers, and an iPad that has a camera, iMovie, and Safari. That's all I've used to make these. Some of them, like, I've used crayons or markers occasionally. I mean, some of them I've also utilized access to Google, and frankly, all of them I've utilized access to the internet to access my pool of knowledge that I do have about the subjects. But, yeah. I feel like it's like labor. It's not like, it's like work. It's not like it's like it's work. I've done it. I feel productive. I feel like I'm achieving something. It's like I'm happy with it. I mean, the thing about YouTube is like, I understand you have to. It takes a lot of time and or luck to build up, and or luck and or playing into the algorithm, which I am. Well, I'm still a minor, so I'm. It's not like I have to sustain myself really currently, so I can afford to not really do that. But as it stands, but generally, like I feel proud that to have done it, as opposed to like, I don't know, as opposed to like, for there's various examples I could probably draw, but it's like all of them feel inordinately petty. It's like, this is something I feel proud I've done on a day to day basis. It makes me feel good. Like, mentally, it's just like, yeah, I am not just a incompetent wreck who can't do anything. You know, it's done a lot to actually make me feel a lot better mentally since I started the series, which I did not intend. Like, literally, it's just like, I want people to see this creative shit I'm making. Oh, look, this creative shit I'm making seems to be starting to grow on YouTube. If I start early enough, then maybe I can ride the hype wave and get some size and get some clout from that. But mentally, this has actually proven to be like really damn good for me. So yeah, maybe going back to school and going back into having to deal with that like 9 to 15/14 day plus homework is like, maybe that's gonna get me back to being like just like just like having to deal with that will be like get me more motivated to like actually produce this, to be proud of it. And so the other hand, I like a lot of time is gonna have to dedicate, like, on the other hand, like, I'm going into S4, which like here in Scotland is like the second most important year of schooling. So it's like as in schooling when you're a minor. So it's like, on the other hand, it's like, yeah, between that and the fact that I'm out of the honeymoon phase of Pen, the 2 week releases that the series enjoyed from March of 2021, those aren't coming back for years. Like, that's not happening again. Like, maybe one day such things might come back, maybe for a different series, maybe for Pen in its later life, but like, those for now, those aren't gonna. It's gonna be years till those come back. Hydrate, important. But yeah, I mean, I made a couple skits, right, in June, like to release leading up to between the last episode, a new episode of Pen, and part one redone. It's like one of them I wanted to both of them I wanted to put in some visual assets to make them more interesting on screen, and also one of them I wanted to re-record to change the detail in the audio. But like frankly, it's been like nearly 2 months. I've not done that. I'm not actually making new videos. I just need to upload them to sustain the channel. Basically, I need to get them off my mind. But so I should probably do that. I mean, also a side tangent, Stunlock, some would say, on what's it? On Caveman Land. I just want to note that for a couple of reasons. One, this is a big series, and I'm going to follow the Dreg principle on this, which is basically don't start the project, don't publish the first part of the series or project or whatever till the whole thing's at least halfway done to ensure you can finish it viably. I'm following that principle, so it's going to be a long time because of that, and also because, like, I'm very bad at writing dialogue that doesn't sound awkward and stunted. Like, if there was a way I could get a class on how to write dialogue that sounds natural and, like, not stunted and, like, awkward and, like, a 9-year-old who's being overly blunt wrote it, that'd be good as hell. As well as I'm also, like, currently, like, some of my voice training, or I mean to be anyway, / like learning how to adjust my voice so that I can handle the voices of this series by basically like going all really deep and all that, and like like working class very Brooklyn accent, and also like all high and nice and like girl voice for like girl characters, as well as also because, you know, voice training, like tranny girl, all that. So yeah, it's a thing. And I'm not getting that done, by the way, I'm just noting. And there's also equipment involved in the series in making the series I plan to use that I just don't currently have. Between that and the fact that not much of the series is written, and the fact that, of course, I want to do it very differently to how I'm doing it. Okay, so sorry about that. The audio cut out there because my iPad was like, oh, you're at 10% battery. Oh, and that automatically stopped the recording, which so I saved that, and then it's like, basically was and now I've lost my thought because in iMovie, like the iPad version of iMovie, for some dumb reason, all audio is connected to the visuals that show up on screen, and so it's like all connected to that, so I couldn't create another audio recording that wasn't like interjecting at the end of in the middle of that, like where there was last visuals, unless I went through and added more visuals. And to do that with these animations, I literally had to take each shell, which in this case refers to the combination of these frames I've put together in like a single footage I can easily duplicate to stretch out the video as stretch out, condense the video as easy as possible by adding or removing them. I had to manually hit duplicates to create each one of them in there, and then I had to manually go click the transitions between each of them and change it from dissolve to nothing, so that just because you can't change what the default one is, and so yeah, and obviously the dissolve one would fuck up the animation. So that's a pain in the ass. But I was saying something about Caveman Land. Yeah, don't have piece of tech I need to make it. Don't know how to write good dialogue. Have hardly any episodes written. Pretty happy with the world building so far, honestly. Don't have voice ready to do it. In the end, like, look, this isn't happening till the second half of the 2020s at earliest. Very possibly not happening till well into the 2030s. Like, it's a far future thing, you know? So, yeah. But, yeah, and as for our plans, I have, like, 2 speculative biology projects. One that's supposed to be, like, a wacky world, like, that's way out there, like, on the 1 to 10 scale, 1 being only stuff a president on Earth can happen, no matter what. It has to be, like, no kind of vague differing from that whatsoever, and 10 is, like, no regard for natural selection. It would err closer to 10 than most projects I've done and probably will ever do, and most people will even do. Like, it won't be like it won't be like expedition. It won't be anything close to that, but like it'll basically be my dumping ground for out there ideas. You know, like what if we had what if instead of using sodium to communicate this about the organisms there use lead? What if we had primarily acellular life? What if what if high gravity was that's unpopular, albeit it's pretty viable. What if the soil was saturated with heavy metal, with some heavy metal? What if there was to have a stupid amount of minor moons? What if I was to add all kinds of crazy orbital characteristics? You know? And it's like, I'm probably gonna have to learn a lot more about planet building to actually pull it off, so that's probably gonna be the last project I do that I have planned currently. And the other project's also way more out there planet wise, but I'm not making it for reasons we'll get into later. I mean, I initially had the idea to do it in 2020. It's like I'm pretty cool with the idea, and it's like I I kind of want to do it now because cloud chasing, and I want to have more people to see the stuff I make. Like I just want people to see and appreciate what I'm making. I put a lot of time into it. Okay, like, so it's like I kind of want to do it more, but like I was planning to do it before I was planning to do this as a YouTube thing, like back in 2020. Like I started planning this like 2 years ago now. Whoa, that is weird. But that was 2 years ago. Or was it? I'm pretty sure it was 2 years ago. Then I have this logical reason that might not be, but I'm also very sure that I saw that and thought that 2 years ago. So it may or may not be 2 years ago. I don't know. But regardless, it was before I decided to make my videos as a video thing. So yeah, literally it's been so long since I did the first recording that I don't know what part was like the recording I did that didn't actually get recorded and what part was the first recording. Like seriously, I was gonna draw assets after recording this, but it's taking so damn long at this point that I'm honestly like, it's probably like 4. I'm gonna just go to sleep and damn, I can do those assets tomorrow instead of procrastination continues. And of course, every second I leave this audio recording, that's more extra like sales I have to add. I've said about everything that's on my mind regarding this so far currently, so I should probably cut it off now. So GN.